So hello and welcome everybody. As I say, we have a large number of tourism and hospitality businesses joining our webinar this morning. For those who I maybe haven't met before, my name is Maria McAllister and I'll be your webinar host today. I work with Tourism Northern Ireland as part of the Experience Development Team, and I'm the interim manager for our destination brand, Embrace a Giant Spirit. So thank you so much for joining us this morning and for registering your interest in our Introduction to Luxury Tourism webinar. This is our first luxury webinar and we're delighted to be joined by speakers from both Tourism Northern Ireland and Tourism Ireland who'll chat in more detail about our strategic plans for this growing market. Of course, there are a number of businesses very active in this area. Northern Ireland is already performing in the luxury market. And so we'll take the opportunity today to reflect on some of our key businesses and learnings to date. And over the next hour, we'll be guided by our three speakers. We have Emer Callaghan, Head of Experience and Industry Development at Tourism Northern Ireland, Jen O'Higgins from Tourism Ireland as Pan Market Luxury, and also Maureen Dewar from Tourism Northern Ireland from our own Business Solutions team. And after today's presentation, I'll be picking up as many of your questions as I can with our speakers. So if you have any questions at all during today's session, please be sure to pop these into the question box at any time throughout the presentation, and we'll pick up as many of these as possible at the end. So let's get stuck into this very interesting area of work. It's my absolute pleasure to introduce Emer Callaghan. Good morning, Emer. And over to you.
Thanks very much, Maria. Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. And what a lovely way to start off the week with talking about luxury tourism. So delighted to see so many of you join us this morning, where we're going to learn about the very particular requirements of this market segment. So if you just hit the next slide there, lovely. So what is luxury tourism? Well, very good question. And I suppose the first thing to really point out here is that everyone has a really different perception of what is luxury. It's really, really personal. So for some, it may be like a 5-star resort on a beach with gorgeous weather. And for others, it may be spending quality time with their family, hiking in the hills. So everyone has a very different perception of what luxury means to them. Important to note, though, that the luxury tourism segment is one that's growing globally, and a recent report valued the market at approximately $1.48 trillion. It's quite an amount, with a projection for that to grow to $2.36 trillion by 2030. So the key drivers for this, I suppose, are rising global wealth combined with an increased appetite for personalised and experiential travel, which is very important for us. There are a range of sort of sub-segments within luxury, such as adventure, safari, wellness travel, sustainability, exploring remote locations. And one report puts safari at 1/3 of the spend. And given our lack of giraffes and rhinos, I think we can discount that particular subsection of luxury for Northern Ireland. So contrary to some assumptions, luxury travellers are not just the ultra-rich. For example, 35% of luxury travel market is made up of people whose net worth is between $100,000 and $1 million. And whilst we have this perception, I suppose, that the luxury traveller is older and they account for a large share of spending, younger generations, so the millennials and the Gen Zs, are increasingly influential in luxury travel as well. And we're seeing that luxury travellers are increasingly coming to visit as part of a multi-generational group, which is very important to consider. And obviously spending, that is the main draw here. They're willing to pay a premium for experiences and for certain perks as well. So luxury travel is very much dominated by B2B channels. So they tend to use extensively travel agents, travel advisors, DMCs to really develop all their luxury itineraries for their clients. And my colleagues Jen and Maureen will cover that later in the session. So the main thing to note that luxury overall still represents a relatively small part of our overall tourism opportunity here in Northern Ireland. It's not a market for absolutely all businesses, and it very much requires a complete match between the tourism business and indeed the buyer. Okay, so whilst I said that luxury and perceptions of luxury travel are very personalised and unique to the individual, there's a key set of characteristics that really dictate this market that should be present at each stage. First of all, there has to be absolutely a sense of exclusivity and uniqueness. The luxury traveller really wants what other people can't have. They want behind the scenes, behind the ropes, not on the website, experiences and places to stay that they can really enjoy. Service is absolutely crucial here. It's crucial in all parts of tourism, but it's especially so in the luxury market. Extremely high levels of customer service are absolutely expected in all aspects of delivery. Across all touch points. So right from the booking to the arrival to the departure, we need to see amazing levels of customer service. And furthermore, the need for anticipation and flexibility. So to be able to anticipate any needs or changes to the itinerary and being able to make those without any hassle, ensuring a really totally seamless experience. And this is a key consideration, I suppose, for any staff and for our skills discussions going forward. Accommodation, as you will imagine, is the foundation of our luxury tourism offer, both having a mix of familiar global luxury brands as well as bespoke homegrown accommodation for the destination. And we've very much witnessed this in Northern Ireland in recent years, with many of our homegrown accommodation businesses significantly investing in their offering, which is fantastic. And also we've seen the arrival of well-known luxury hotel brands into Northern Ireland, and that's a really clear vote of confidence and a sign of the potential of our destination. And lastly is the need for authenticity. And if you've been in any Tourism NI webinars before, you'll have heard this word of authenticity being discussed. And we see this right across all types of visitor segments, not just luxury, but consumers are seeking more meaningful and purposeful travel experiences that will really create greater connections with this place and create lasting impressions. So the luxury travel market can be very much summarized as being now a move from opulence to one of experience. So we've looked at the hygiene factors for luxury travel. So now let's look at the mindset or the motivations for the luxury traveler to understand, well, what do they want from a destination? What do they want when they're going on holidays, and what can we offer them? So as mentioned before, it's all about exclusivity. They really want experiences and places that others just can't get. So access to money can't buy experiences. So the insight here is that their travel experience needs to be very, very personalized and highly curated to their passion points. So they're very personalized set of interests. So is that art? Is it literature? Is it local food and drink? Is it whiskey? Is it golf? Their whole itinerary is highly curated to their interests. They also seek destinations and experiences that will help them impress their peers. So back in 2021, Tourism NI, along with our colleagues in Tourism Ireland and Budget Ireland, commissioned research into the luxury market, and that really helped us understand the luxury traveler customer journey, and this will help us, I suppose, understand what we need to do as a destination to reach this market. So as with any travel decision stage, the inspiration stage is crucial. How do we capture people's imagination, especially those luxury travelers, and get them to consider Northern Ireland? And Jen from Tourism Ireland will very much talk to this later on. Importantly, within luxury travel, word of mouth recommendations from trusted sources is very important. And those recommendations will either come from their peers or from luxury travel agents or destination management companies. So recommendations from trusted people who know very much what this person likes on their holidays. Again, all the initial inspiration needs to be very much aligned with their passion points. So wellness, the need to escape, art, cuisine, and sport. So the next stage is personalization, and the real need to personalize every aspect of the itinerary specific to their need. And the industry takeout for us this morning is what's possible, what else can we do, what can we offer, how can we think outside the box to make something that is truly special. So consider behind the scenes, off the brochure, privileged access, all brought to life, I suppose, with collaboration and personal touches to make sure everything is completely personalized. And as I said before, at the booking stage, this is a market dominated by B2B channels. So the importance of travel agents, travel advisors, and destination management companies, and also other tourism businesses and accommodation providers who are already active in this market. They have the experience and the knowledge, and the need for collaboration then is greater. There's also a need here to really respond quickly to any inquiries that you get, because these people are not used to waiting. Their luxury agents are maybe planning out a range of itineraries. So very much respond and be creative, and provide further choice and inspiration here for the end client. And that building that connection and trust with the agent or with the DMC here is crucial as well. The next stage is all about ensuring that you deliver what you've promised. Expectations need to be fulfilled and indeed exceeded, and this is where the flawless customer service comes in. So you really need to consider within your accommodation or within your business, your experience, what are those high points that you can create for the luxury traveller that cannot be created elsewhere in the world. And I suppose, sorry, just go back a slide there, Aidan, the overall experience needs to be absolutely seamless. And that's part of that whole tourism and luxury ecosystem, right from arrival, from the booking to any changes along the way, all need to be dealt with very proactively. And that's not just your own business. Everything in the destination has to be in sync. Okay, so if you head to the next slide there, Aidan, that would be brilliant. So we now know a bit more about this market, what motivates them, what tourism businesses need to deliver in terms of service delivery. So as I mentioned before, luxury tourism represents a small but a viable part of our overall tourism proposition. And our draft corporate plan recognises the benefits that this segment can offer, in particular to grow value and generate longer stays. Just hit the next slide there, Aidan. It is very much recognised that this is a segment that will flourish only with collaboration between accommodation providers, experience providers, and all those who bring the destination to life. So as I mentioned before, we are already seeing increased interest in this market. Just hit the next slide there, Aidan, that would be brilliant. And so our destination brand, Embrace a Giant Spirit, is very much aligned to the motivations of the luxury market. So as we know, luxury travellers, they spend more, they stay longer, and they seek very much depth over quantity. So by creating distinctive premium experiences, we can really position ourselves well within this luxury landscape. And we can, I suppose, offer a luxury travel destination that is defined by our stories, our landscapes, and our people. So we very much see luxury as being very much aligned with our Embrace a Giant Spirit, because Embrace a Giant Spirit, as you all know, is all about promising local engagement, authentic and immersive experiences, and we have this. So as I read recently in an article, luxury isn't about what you have, it's about how it makes you feel. And I think we can offer that in spades. So in luxury here in Northern Ireland, we very much see that as it's luxury in the quiet moments. It's, you know, a private tasting with a local distiller, a bespoke guided walk through our beautiful landscapes and coastlines, and really then the warmth of genuine people like our tourism businesses who open their doors to the world. So just hit the next slide there, Aidan. New slide then is our vision. So alongside Tourism Ireland, we are really keen to support industry to continue to develop a compelling luxury proposition. And our work here neatly fits into 3 pillars. New slide there, Aidan. Insightful research, firstly, to inform future endeavours. It's very important to have the research to hand to understand what this market really wants. And then helping appropriate tourism businesses enhance their experience, and finally creating those sales connections. And Jen and Maureen will talk more about the sales and marketing opportunities later in the presentation. New slide. And we've already started in this area. Earlier this year, we delivered a luxury tourism experience mentoring program to help 5 tourism experience providers to better develop, promote and deliver for the luxury market. The program looked at marketing, sales, pricing, and identifying routes to market, and involved one-to-one mentoring and group sessions as well. New slide, and you can see here the participants on screen. So it ranged from everything from local farms to orchards, stately and historic homes, in-depth specialist tours and supper clubs. And that's really where we see our luxury opportunity being able to grow, is these fantastic experiences that can be provided. So new slide, what's coming next? I suppose after today's webinar, we will be delivering a specialised workshop in February for an amount of businesses who are appropriate for this market. So please do keep an eye out for that. However, as I mentioned before, and Maria's mentioned as well, Northern Ireland as a destination is already active and winning in this market. Just hit the new slide there, Eden. And we have seen significant investment in our own established homegrown luxury hotels. Just new slide there, Eden. And yes, you can see there the many homegrown businesses from Hastings to Galgorm to the Merton to the Fitzwilliam, who've already established a luxury offering, have that fantastic customer service in place, and they're really growing their luxury share of the market. A new slide there, Eden. We've also welcomed new arrivals on the scene, such as Dunluce Lodge on the Causeway Coastal Route, which was opened just in time for the Open, which was fantastic, and also properties like Regency House in Belfast, which offering very much a luxury homestay experience right in the heart of the university quarter. New slide. And we've also witnessed, I suppose, the rise in popularity of those more unique places to stay. And just, you know, there's quite a few of them, but just to call out, I suppose, the bubble domes at Finloch, you know, stargazing in Fermanagh is a fantastically luxurious experience, and the team there at Finloch have also significantly invested in a full range of wellness experiences paired with local food and drink providers, creating a truly exceptional product. New slide there, and not to forget, I suppose, our world famous golf courses. We are blessed with so many famous golf courses, in particular our links courses and down into Lough Erne, and you know that is an amazing opportunity to really build on that luxury market. And you know we have to call out, I suppose, a significant opportunity that was presented to us by the Open for this luxury market as well, with many attendees at corporate hospitality getting their first taste of Northern Ireland. And of course, obviously, we have our spirits, our renowned spirits and whiskies and gins who are all brought to life in our spirits trail. And many of those distilleries are absolutely fantastic experience, meeting the people behind the scenes. They're often located in beautiful areas. So that is a great product to be able to offer to this market. So new slide there, Eden. Our investment, I suppose, in experience development over the past few years is also really servicing the luxury market with local experiences really shining through and providing that authentic and immersive experience that the luxury traveller requires. Such one is Longmeadow Cider down in beautiful County Armagh, who offer a VIP tasting and culinary journey at their family orchard and get to meet the family, hear their stories, how the orchard came to be. And I suppose nothing says luxury more than a recent royal visit, which was fantastic. Great coverage there. We also have Crindle Bespoke up on the Causeway Coastal Route, offering private equine experiences. And another great example is a company called NI Silver out in the Hollywood Hills, and they offer bespoke jewellery making at their studio, where you can really, you know, get hands-on and create a beautiful piece of jewellery, all under sort of expert supervision. And I suppose they're just some of the many experiences that are absolutely on point for this luxury market. Indeed, we have many more. I could have spent a good half an hour going through so many of them. So in summary, as Maria has called out, Northern Ireland, we really are well placed to win more luxury business with our focus on immersive and authentic experiences. And we're supported by our wonderful accommodation partners in this particular area. And so as an industry, we need to collectively work then on exceptional delivery, imaginative itineraries, and creating that really seamless experience throughout all touch points. So thanks for listening. I'm now going to hand over to our great friend and colleague, Jennifer in Tourism Ireland, who's going to take you through the next part of the morning.
Thanks, Emer. Hi, everyone. Good morning. Thanks again for joining us. I'm just going to give a very brief update on what we are up to in luxury at Tourism Ireland. So just wanted to introduce who exactly the luxury team are at Tourism Ireland first. So next slide, please. So this is the newish luxury team. So there's myself, and then there's also Aileen Hickey, who looks after luxury and business events, and David Boyce, who looks after luxury and business events as well. So we are the central team based out of Dublin. As I said, we're quite a newly formed team. Aileen started earlier this year, I started last year, and David Boyce has been with the company for a long, long time, but newish to the luxury segment as well. Just to touch on the Tourism Ireland approach, at the moment it is only B2B. That is what we are focusing on. That is the strategy. That is not to say that it won't shift in the future, but at the moment we are only focused on B2B. So the three of us look after luxury from a pan-market perspective across multiple markets. And we also have our colleagues in key markets doing their own specific luxury activity as well. Next slide, please. So the markets that are promoting luxury encompass the US. So that is both coasts, East and West. We have our GB team, DAC, which is a newly formed geographic region as of this year. So that encompasses Germany, Switzerland, and Austria. We have France, Spain, Italy, Australia, and Canada that also do luxury as part of their existing trade activity too. So these markets provide invaluable platforms to the industry via events, fam trips, and communications to engage with the key travel advisors in those source markets. And we as the central team work extremely closely with them, so improving collaboration. So we have monthly calls with all of our market colleagues, sharing best practice. What's worked in one European market might work in another. If we've done a certain initiative on the west coast of the States, can that be replicated and duplicated in another market to achieve the same level of success? And we also support on annual planning as well, which we are in the midst of at the moment. Next slide, please. So just, I know Emer's gone through a lot of it, but I just wanted to touch on some quick stats on the luxury market. Now, our most recent tri-agency research was actually a few years ago now. We are looking into potentially doing additional research next year. However, these stats I've pulled from a research report that the WARC conducted in November last year. So a lot of this we will already know, but just to touch on, so kind of the value of the luxury market currently sits at $1 trillion, which is an insane amount of money, and it's growing 8% year on year, which is fantastic. It is an extremely resilient market. As we know, the luxury segment was pretty much unaffected by the global pandemic, obviously affected by the fact that they couldn't travel, but obviously they were the first to come back into the fold then when we were able to resume that again. It's high yield, they have an experience first mindset, so they really want those authentic and personalized experiences that Emer's touched on. And just to quote from the research, the new affluent tourist values luxury experience and self-fulfillment over materialism. So very much prioritizing those experiences with their loved ones, with the friends and family, and self-fulfillment. They're all trying to better themselves, and obviously they can do that through their travel journeys as well over just purchases. Next slide, please. So a couple of trends that this research report touched on was the demographic shifts. So at this moment of time, we're seeing 4 different generations coexisting in the travel industry, which is quite unique. So you have your boomers, your Gen X, but then you also have your millennials and Gen Z. So what's really important for us in our work is to make sure that we're catering to these 4 unique segments. And obviously how they experience the world and life, and indeed travel, obviously differentiates completely across these different segments. So we need to ensure that we're catering to these. Disruptive technologies, obviously AI. I don't think we can go a day without hearing that word, but it's up to us really to leverage that AI technology to enrich the customer experience, offer that hyper personalization that we can, and adopt more sustainable practices. We know a lot of, the younger generations are turning to ChatGPT as almost a secondary travel advisor. So it's how can we leverage that resource to our own benefit? Purpose beyond profit. This is very much buying into obviously the sustainability word. Obviously, I know a lot of you are focused on and have the sustainability credentials. That's anything from the locally sourced produce that you might serve in your accommodation, but also having those are becoming more and more important for these younger generations. So ensuring you have that in your offering is going to continue to be quite important. And new luxury frontiers. So this again is just prioritizing those authentic, unique experiences. They don't want to do what people have done before, what can be Googleable. They want to go away and tell their friends, I did this experience in Ireland, it was fantastic. So it's kind of how can we offer an experience that is unique, that hasn't been done before? Can we adopt it or adapt it, should I say, to create these new experiences for them? Next slide, please. I just wanted to touch on the luxury brand proposition, Ireland Where Luxury Comes Naturally. A lot of you will have potentially come across this before. So this brand proposition is a subset of the Fill Your Heart with Ireland brand. And how this brand actually was launched at the end of 2023, beginning of 2024. So we have been using it for a little bit of time now. But how this came about and how this brand proposition was created, it was very much to differentiate the luxury travel consumer from your standard travel consumer. And kind of how this came about was looking at, what encompasses brand Ireland. So the essence of that, what makes Ireland so unique, and, including those only in Ireland experiences. And we looked at, luxury lives naturally in the green hills, in the age-old culture, in the wealth of natural produce that we have, making it the perfect place for luxury visitors to refuel, revive, and to fill their hearts. And I'm delighted to share with you our new brand video that was created by our agency Grey earlier this year. So next slide, please. So that was our brand video that is going to be rolled out through various B2B platforms and initiatives going forward. Next slide. So I just wanted to touch on as well, we hosted a feedback session with a subset of luxury industry back in September. And we gave an update of what we've been up to at Tourism Ireland over the past 12 months for luxury, also looking at a brief overview of what we are planning for 2026. We then broke up the attendees into different groups and gave them specific topics that we wanted their feedback on a range of different categories, some of which included the market diversification, so looking beyond the USA. Obviously, the USA is and will continue to be our largest segment for luxury. But looking at, right, do we need to diversify beyond that and prioritize other markets as well? Luxury weddings was a key topic. Obviously, Ireland has become more and more popular as a luxury wedding destination, and elopements as well. So getting feedback on that, competing to win beyond the sales platforms, and looking at the B2B events that we offer as well. And really, we conducted this session to get your feedback to make sure with Tourism Ireland's new corporate strategy from 2026 and beyond, that we're very much aligning the luxury strategy, not only with that, but with your feedback as well. And Tourism Northern Ireland and Fáilte Ireland also gave a quick update at that session too. So next slide, please. So I just wanted to go over the summary of recommendations that we got from that session. We will be sharing the wider results of this at a later date, but these were kind of the key components that we pulled out that the attendees wish for us to focus on in the next 12 to 18 months. So communication and forward planning. This is always going to be a challenge for us at Tourism Ireland. I know all of you put your budgets and plans together from August, September onwards. Unfortunately, we don't get our budgets that early. I wish we did. But to provide earlier communication of what events and activity we are planning to help you plan as well. So that's very much going to be taken on board. And I will actually be sharing our provisional activity plan for luxury across all markets by the end of this week. So I will be sharing that with Maureen and she can circulate it to you. Fam trips, themed fam trips came up, and as well as themed webinars. So that is something that we are going to look at for next year. So increasing the transparency and the communication on the qualification for these FAMs, when they're happening, who is attending, and the process to get involved in FAMs. Even if you're not part of, if the group maybe aren't staying with you, what other networking opportunities can we offer when we have these agents and advisors in Ireland? So that's very much, we're looking into that for next year. Databases came up as a huge point, and we are going to be looking into that for next year, making sure we're continuously updating it, improving it, making sure we've got the right segmentation, not only geographically by market, but maybe by revenue as well. And there's obviously different categories that we can segment our database from. And obviously attending all of these different wonderful B2B events, we have built up a hefty database. So it's making sure we have all of that collated in one place and we can utilize effectively. Market diversification, like I mentioned, retaining focus on the US market. Obviously, we will continue to do so, but also looking to diversify outside of that in high potential and well-connected areas such as Canada and the DACH region, which we've never really fully explored before, and also growing our presence at luxury events in these new markets. So for example, I know our colleagues in Australia took part in a Luxperience event earlier this year. So just trying out new events and making sure we're really looking at what is there to offer as these luxury platforms for you, and make sure we're participating in the right ones. Looking at our partnerships as well was part of the feedback. So to deepen our collaboration and support with the consortia. So Serendipians, we have joined as members this year. We are also part of Virtuoso and Signature. We've also trialed something this year working with those smaller agents and doing their smaller events. So that is going to continue to be part of our strategy going forward for next year, where we can. So looking at incentive specialists and getting in front of wedding planners too. And then continuing to position ourselves as the luxury brand that we are. So that was just a snapshot of the feedback that we got from that session. But all of that was great to hear from those attendees to make sure that we are on the right track for 2026. And that brings me to my last slide and our provisional activity plan for 2026. So this is just a snapshot of some of the activity that we are looking to do next year. May I emphasize it is provisional and nothing is set in stone. It is all budget dependent. However, it is everything that the central team and the market teams would like to do next year. So you have your normal contenders like your ILTM Cannes, the Loop Luxury Tours, TTG connections that we've done before, but also new initiatives looking at those smaller agents. So Coastline Summit, Arrive with Global Travel Collection, our workshops in GB in France, and then looking at a series of webinars as well. And we're looking to do more webinars next year too. But we look forward to filling you in on the full provisional activity plan. As I said, I will send to Maureen by the end of the week and she will be able to share with you. But now I will hand over to Maureen.
Thanks so much, Jennifer. So good morning, everyone. I hope you're all keeping well and enjoying today's session so far. My name is Maureen, yes, and I work with the Business Solutions team at Tourism Northern Ireland, focusing on the luxury and business events markets. This morning, I'm going to take you through the range of business supports and opportunities available to help you succeed in the luxury market. Next slide, please. So what exactly do the Business Solutions team do? We act as Tourism Northern Ireland's key link between our local tourism industry and international buyers, developing tailored programs and platforms that drive meaningful engagement and long-term growth. Our goal is to deliver a dynamic, results-driven program of activity that increases tourism revenue for Northern Ireland with a strong focus on B2B connections and partnerships. We support our industry by increasing awareness and distribution in key global markets, driving revenue growth through high-value partnerships, extending the tourism season through targeted activity, and ensuring strong regional representation so that every corner of Northern Ireland benefits. Through our work, we connect local suppliers with qualified international buyers, generating sales and promotional opportunities across the MICE, travel trade, golf and luxury sectors. And of course, we have a dedicated team working to support you in the luxury market. We have George Demondes, our Head of Business Solutions, Nikki Patterson, Business Solutions Manager, myself, Business Solutions Officer, and Heather, Business Solutions Admin Officer. Next slide, please. So through the Business Solutions programme, our focus is on building strong commercial relationships that deliver lasting benefits for Northern Ireland's tourism industry. Working closely with our colleagues in Tourism Ireland, we deliver a series of key trade engagement initiatives throughout the year, including our flagship B2B event, Meet the Buyer, which returns in March 2026. This event provides direct access to high-quality buyers who are actively seeking new and authentic Northern Ireland experiences for their clients. We also deliver the I2OA workshop, which is just 2 weeks away, another fantastic opportunity to connect with leading Island of Ireland operators and strengthen existing trade partnerships. But beyond these headline events, we coordinate an extensive annual schedule of international activity in collaboration with Tourism Ireland. Since January, we've recruited for 97 global trade platforms, awarding 673 places to Northern Ireland industry partners, a clear reflection of our global reach and engagement. We've also delivered 41 fan trips this year alone, ensuring strong regional representation and showcasing the very best of Northern Ireland's tourism experiences. Through our sales and marketing activity too, we have a number of strategic partnerships to help position Northern Ireland as a world-class high-end travel destination. Next slide, please. So I mentioned earlier the number of international platforms that we've recruited for this year, but I'd like to quickly walk you through how this process works. Once an in-market opportunity has been confirmed with Tourism Ireland, whether that's a B2B event or an online webinar, it's passed to the Business Solutions team. We then upload full details to the International Trade Opportunities page on tourismni.com, where you can view all planned activity for the year and plan your budgets or schedules accordingly. When recruitment opens for a specific platform, it goes live on the portal and anyone registered on the hub will receive a notification to express their interest in attending. Given the demand, we apply a select criteria to ensure we match the right business to the right opportunity. And for luxury platforms in particular, this tends to be even more selective, requiring, for example, 4- or 5-star accommodation or experiences and proven engagement within this market. Tourism NI and Tourism Ireland's market teams will then review all expressions of interest, and if successful, you'll be notified and added to the programme, and if not, you'll be placed on a waiting list for future opportunities. And if your place is confirmed, Tourism Ireland will follow up with next steps on coordination, planning and preparation. So since January 2025, I mentioned we have delivered 41 fam trips across key sectors, including luxury, travel trade, golf and business events, featuring 171 industry partners to showcase the very best of Northern Ireland. These trips are a cornerstone of our strategy, inspiring international buyers, building relationships and positioning Northern Ireland as a world-class destination for high-end, authentic and diverse experiences. When planning luxury fam itineraries, we take a strategic and tailored approach, collaborating with Tourism Ireland to understand buyer preferences, designing bespoke itineraries aligned with the buyer's business objectives, ensuring regional balance and showcasing the full diversity of Northern Ireland, and championing innovation by highlighting new products, unique experiences and hidden gems. So to help you succeed in this market, I have some helpful tips to strengthen your delivery and engagement in what is a fiercely competitive market. So number one, know your market. The first step is understanding who your buyers are and what drives their clients. Research your target source markets, whether it be the US, GB, Australia or Europe. They may all value different aspects of luxury. Understand what luxury means to them. For some, it's privacy, for others, sustainability or unique local access. And do your homework on attending buyers. Look at their clientele, previous programs and brand positioning. Tailor your product and presentation. Luxury buyers are looking for experiences that stand out, so tailor what you showcase. Adapt your offering to meet high-end expectations. Think private access, bespoke touches and seamless service. Highlight exclusivity and authenticity in your presentations and use premium updated imagery and keep your presentations clear, confident and visually strong. Number three is strengthen your online presence. Buyers will check your digital footprint, so make sure it reflects quality. Review your website, your LinkedIn, your social media channels and make sure they look polished and professional. Include testimonials, awards and sustainability credentials that you have and make them easy to contact you. Number four is prepare for buyer engagement. Be ready to connect quickly and make an impression. Have a strong elevator pitch, concise and memorable, and bring or share a digital brochure. Be ready to tailor your message depending on the buyer's market needs. We've mentioned this before, but collaboration is key. So please partner with premium local businesses to offer a cohesive end-to-end experience. You want to showcase your product, but you have to start with the destination first. And having those contacts and relationships built up will really stand to you. And working closely with ourselves in Tourism Northern Ireland, visit Belfast, visit Derry and our regional partners to present a unified Northern Ireland and Ireland luxury message. Deliver premium on-site experiences. So when hosting buyers on fam trips, every detail counts. Prepare and personalise, from welcome notes to dining, offer immersive, authentic experiences and manage logistics flawlessly. You may be meeting the gripper client, but also remember to prepare your team too. There are great online resources on the e-learning platform on how to effectively deliver fam trips, and we would encourage you to share this with your teams. And capture high quality visuals if you have permission for future promotion. Another important point is following up professionally. The follow-up is where relationships really grow. So try to send a personalized thank you note within 48 hours and reference specific discussions or interests. Share next steps and link to premium marketing materials. And if permitted, keep in touch with relevant updates throughout the year. And a very important one, review and evolve. So every interaction is a learning opportunity and we don't always get it right. Debrief with your team after each event or fam trip and gather feedback from buyers where possible. Luxury buyers are not just looking for great products, they're looking for trusted partners who understand their clients. Competition is fierce and gone are the days where you can really just rock up to a platform and hope for the best. We want to increase this high-end business to Northern Ireland and preparation, personalisation and professionalism are key to standing out. Next slide, please. So we're here to support you, our industry partners, and help you showcase the very best of Northern Ireland to your clients. We keep operators and DMCs across the island of Ireland informed with ongoing updates from the luxury market. This includes the latest product developments, openings and opportunities, and we can facilitate direct introductions to key Northern Ireland suppliers and venues. Via our content pool, you have access to a wide range of high quality images, videos and marketing assets to elevate your presentations, proposals and online presence. These resources help you tell the story of Northern Ireland with impact and professionalism. Our e-learning platform provides interactive modules which are designed to boost your product knowledge and sales skills. You can learn how to perfect your pitch, make the most of fan trips and engage with clients effectively. We encourage you and your teams to get involved to explore these modules, whether it's a refresher or a deep dive, and I've included a snapshot of some of the modules available. And our flagship B2B event, Meet the Buyer, which brings international buyers directly to Northern Ireland and provides you, our tourism and hospitality providers, with the ability to have one-to-one appointments and networking opportunities to grow your business. And the Northern Ireland Overseas Engagement Programme, which we have worked with Tourism Ireland on this year. To date, it has enabled 11 industry partners to participate in international market opportunities, including some luxury platforms. And this programme has enabled experienced providers with a chance to showcase their offering, represent Northern Ireland on a global stage, and build valuable international relationships. So to wrap up, I've included a business-ready checklist for the luxury market. Collaborate. Partnerships are powerful, so work with others to sell the destination and package experiences holistically. Promote effectively. Use the Tourism NI content pool for high quality visuals and showcase your success through testimonials and online storytelling. Get involved, join our B2B events, fan trips and international platforms. If you haven't already, sign up to the Tourism NI Hub to stay updated on opportunities. Invest in learning, explore our e-learning platform to enhance your team's skills and service delivery, and review and evolve. Luxury is an ever-changing market. Stay adaptable, innovative, and always strive for excellence. The luxury market is competitive, so stay informed on emerging luxury travel trends. It demands time, investment, and care, but the rewards are absolutely worth it. So that's all from me. I am going to look Maria back in, but thank you all for your time today. I hope you find it helpful, and I look forward to working with you to attract even more luxury clients to Northern Ireland in the near future.
Thank you so much, Maureen, Jennifer and Emer. We really appreciate your valuable presentations today and great insights for our introduction to luxury webinar. And in fact, really detailed insights there. We've covered off what is luxury tourism, what does the luxury traveller seek, what's the strategic approach by Tourism Northern Ireland, as well as a great update there by Jen at Tourism Ireland, and then Maureen leading us on what are the current supports and the opportunities for your business. So a lot to take away from that so far, and also it strikes me some important reminders for all businesses. So My Tourism NI, the e-learning platform with its wide range of modules and topics, content pool, make sure you're getting on there, signing in and seeing what promotional assets currently exist for your business and reaching out if you'd like to add others to that, and also making sure that you're signed up to receive updates. Emer, during her presentation, mentioned an experience development workshop in the new year for luxury tourism, and indeed you want to make sure you're signed up for those updates so you're keeping up to date with all those new areas of work. And so just a reminder that you're going to receive a link to our presentation today so that you can go back and review and share with your teams at your own leisure. And I'll very shortly be kicking off our Q&A session. So if you have any questions yet that you haven't popped into the question box, please do, and we'll aim to get through as many of those as we possibly can before the end of our session. Now, just before we get stuck into the questions, I'd like to do a couple of very quick polls so that we can get a feel for how useful you find today's session so far. And firstly then, 3 questions. Firstly, how beneficial overall did you find today's session on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being very beneficial? Thank you so much, folks. And secondly, how would you rate today's session in terms of content and relevance to your business on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being extremely relevant? Just giving an extra second or two because we have a big group with us today. Thank you so much. And lastly then, do you plan to take any action within your business as a direct result of what you've heard from our speakers so far today? That's really great. Thank you so much. And so just to let you know, you will have the chance then to let us know not only how useful you find today's session, but what else you'd like to see in the Tourism Enterprise Development Programme going forward. You can reach out, you'll be sent the email address along with the recording of today's session. So I'm going to get stuck into some of the questions that have come through. There's a few here for Tourism Northern Ireland and a couple for Tourism Ireland. So if I could ask all of our speakers today to join me. And first question, Emer, this might be one for you. If you have a luxury offering, what is the best medium to market it and to whom?
Okay, good question. First of all, I would advise, being very confident that you definitely have a luxury product. So look at your product in its totality. Consider some of the requirements and the mindsets that we outlined earlier, and be very clear that you have a great luxury product. In terms then of getting it to market, I would take so many of the points that Maureen had outlined in her slide. Ensure your marketing channels, so your own marketing channels such as your Facebook, your Instagram, etc., are all active with appropriate content for that luxury market, and making sure that you can come up front of mind for that inspiration stage. And also would highly recommend being plugged into all the Tourism Northern Ireland and indeed the Tourism Ireland opportunities, in particular for the B2B webinars, and definitely for the our homegrown events like Meet the Buyer and the ITOA workshop. They're a fantastic opportunity to meet in particular the destination management companies based on the island of Ireland, who are very active in the luxury market. So they are homegrown opportunities. They're very cost efficient for you to attend. I would also really recommend connecting with like-minded businesses to work on collaborations. In particular, let all the luxury hotels know of your offer. So say if it's an experience provider, as Maureen said, the luxury hotels are the ones that are very active in market. They're going and doing all that hard graft at the sales shows and promoting the destination. Make sure they know what you can offer, because they're always a great point of contact, and have those trusted relationships with agents as well. And look around you in your ecosystem, nearby and right across Northern Ireland, who's already working in this luxury space, and who could you come up with a great collaboration for that would really meet this market. So hopefully that covers it. But I thought Maureen's slide and all the checkpoints was excellent.
Brilliant, thank you, Emer. Just to share, lots of lovely comments come through saying thank you for such detailed presentations. Another question here, Jen, I think this one would be for you. How can I get my business offering front and center with the US and Canadian market?
Yes, so we obviously offer a range of activities and platforms in both the US market and looking to increase that presence in Canada as well. I do appreciate that there's quite a high price point with these markets. But what I will say is that we at Tourism Ireland, we're always happy and, potentially can support industry-owned in-market activity. So do let us know if you're planning to be in the market, and we can look at whether or not we can support you. But I think a really good way of getting in front of these markets in a cost-effective manner is participating in our webinars. And as I said, we're going to be running a series of these in 2026 that are going to be themed specifically for different topics such as wellness, golf, just accommodation providers, experiences, all cater to the luxury market. So they are a great opportunity to get in front of these audiences, sat right at home or in the office. And actually, just at a couple of the platforms that I've been at in the last couple of months, I've had feedback from luxury travel advisors saying that they have booked experiences for their clients based on what they learned in these webinars. So we know they work, and they're a really great way of getting in front of those markets. So that's what I would advise.
Brilliant, Jen. There's a question here which I'll just answer very briefly. Will there be more mentoring programs, and how do we apply to be considered? So that key to that is making sure that you're signed up for updates from tourismni.com. Will there be more activity in 2026? Yes, we are planning a tailored workshop for experienced providers for those who are currently developing luxury experiences and in position to bring those to market. And all the information, the process and the criteria that surrounds that will be then shared with industry sector-wide through tourismni.com. So just make sure that you're signed up for those. Now, next question, Emer, I'm going to direct this one to you. We received a number of questions, but it comes down to experience development. So, for example, one of the questions, should we try to innovate our product to adapt to fit the luxury market, or would you suggest that it isn't always accessible?
Yeah, that's a very good question, and I would say my answer there would focus on being very realistic for you and your business. Look at your current business offering, look at where you're getting your current visitors from, and if you feel that you have the opportunity to build and innovate and create a fantastic luxury product, and you have the capacity and the resource within market, then absolutely do go for it. But I suppose, yes, the point here is that the luxury market is not for absolutely everyone, and you need to be realistic for your business. It might be that you are very confident in offering, the family market or the GB market or the US market. But absolutely, if you feel that you have got the creativity, you've got those exceptional customer service provision, that you've the ability to collaborate, then absolutely the luxury market, you should be considering it as well.
And I think we've time for one more question. And Emer, it's really an extension, I imagine, of just our last question, specifically looking at quality craft works, people working within the heritage and tradition, all locally handmade product at a very high standard. How do you get that in front of the luxury audience?
Great question, and absolutely, I think those types of experiences, all focusing on local craft, intangible heritage, our culture, are very much what the luxury market is looking for. If we're going back to those requirements, they want immersive, authentic experiences that create that talkability and can't be found anywhere else. And we've so many of those. The example I gave of NI Silver and the jewellery. We've got Neary Knox, who make their wonderful chocolate, and we've got economusees right across the north, such as Chocolate Manor, Bergammon Farm. So great experiences. So I would say they're very appropriate for the luxury market. How you can get them to market, I suppose, starting first and foremost, really work on your product and your experience. Look at our experience development toolkits, look at the research for the luxury market, go through Maureen's points in terms of what's needed, and then really look at those platforms that we've outlined, the webinars, Meet the Buyer, ITOA, and collaborating with other businesses in the area, and really highlighting the importance of our luxury accommodation sector, who are fantastic in really selling Northern Ireland to this segment.
Thanks a million, Emer. Thank you to all of our speakers today. I hope everybody found the session very useful. I'm appreciative that there's a number of questions that we didn't get time for. So I'm going to suggest that actually we'll download those questions and get back to you on a one-to-one with responses, and you can follow up then with myself and with our speakers just to find out a little bit more. As we've discussed, there's a suite of modules on critical topics on My Tourism NI, our e-learning platform. So if you haven't started to use that platform yet, please do click in. There's a wealth of information there for you. Also, I'd really recommend, again, signing up to tourismni.com just to make sure that you're receiving all those important updates and opportunities as we start to take this important area of work forward. So all that really remains for me now is to say thank you so much once again to Emer, Jen and Maureen for their valuable and detailed presentations as part of our introduction to luxury tourism. Also, my thanks to Eden, who's working away in the background there, managing our slide deck and the video platform. So thank you, Eden. That's all worked very smoothly for us this morning. And finally, thank you to everybody who joined us for today's session. We have a large group of businesses with us here this morning. We really appreciate your interest. It's been a pleasure to be involved, and I really look forward to welcoming you all again for other TNI webinars and events in the future. So thank you so much, everybody. Have a great Monday, and we'll be speaking with you soon.